Hi, Will Smith here, Bookie horse racing analyst, with my 5 main thoughts for a Cheltenham Festival betting guide each year. Now, obviously, Cheltenham Festival comes around second or third week of March each particular season, and there are certain things which remain consistent throughout each season and each Cheltenham Festival. The first one is to consider the course itself, the first 2 days of which the Cheltenham Festival is run on the old course, which is a slightly sharper, can be slightly more turning track there at Cheltenham compared to the new course, which is used on days 3 and 4, which can be a bit more galloping and a bit more of a stamina test, which can suit certain different types of horses. It's definitely worth paying attention to if you have a fancy for a particular Cheltenham Festival race, which course it is actually run on, whether it be the old course on day 1 or 2 or the new course on day 3 or 4. It's very much worth looking on YouTube at the Racing TV course walk done last year by Lydia Hislop and Ruby Walsh, because it's incredibly informative and gives you every nuance of each particular track, hurdle or chase track on the old course and the new course. So I definitely advise having a good look at that, because it gives you a real insight into it, and that will hopefully help your selection making process for the Cheltenham Festival races themselves. Festival each year has horses generally that come back and reproduce their best efforts at each Cheltenham Festival. It's no surprise, it's no coincidence. Most owners, trainers, jockeys, they will focus on the Cheltenham Festival each year, and so by association certain horses will always produce their best at the Cheltenham Festival, because it's such a niche meeting, such a specialised meeting. The races are generally all run probably at a slightly quicker tempo than most races are run throughout the year. So sometimes some of the form that has built up throughout the season, the jump season itself, it can sometimes be made to look a little bit iffy once the Cheltenham Festival comes around. And very much the best or first starting point for any particular form study for the Cheltenham Festival is the previous year's festival. So I'd certainly advise going back and looking at every race from the previous year's festival, going through it, noting horses that maybe caught the eye, horses that ran above their price in a certain race, and obviously noting them down. And if they reappear at the next year's Cheltenham Festival, then they're very much likely to suddenly produce a better effort. The odds and the bookmakers and the certain prices and offers that you can get at around the Cheltenham Festival are sometimes too good to be true. Well, not too good to be true, because they are true. They're just too good sometimes. The offers that bookmakers will put out there in the couple of days before the Cheltenham Festival are very much worth taking. They'll be looking for new accounts, they'll be looking to entice people in, and it can be very much a time when you can take advantage of that. And there'll be greater availability, greater opportunity to bet as well. A couple of examples of those are certainly the place terms that you can get in some of the races. It's become quite fashionable to offer way above the usual place terms for a race. You can get 4 when there should be sometimes 3, often up to 5, 6, and sometimes even 7 places for each way races. I bet some of the Cheltenham Festival handicaps bookmakers will offer 7 places each way, which is a brilliant offer, a brilliant safety net offer, and you can obviously on the back of that back 2 or 3 in a lot of races and still be happy that you're playing above the odds and giving yourself the best chance to make a profit. So with that in mind, I certainly wouldn't put off anyone who has multiple selections in races, and I do myself often back 3, sometimes even 4 in some of those races where you do have the enhanced place terms. Year in, year out, the Cheltenham Festival, because it is such a pinnacle and such a focal point, the trainers that are successful at each particular Cheltenham Festival tend to be the same year in, year out. Certainly in the last 9-10 years, Willie Mullins and Gordon Elliott, the 2 Irish battalions, they've very much taken hold in the Cheltenham foothills there. They're the ones to beat. Certainly Gordon Elliott is becoming very much the go-to trainer at the Cheltenham Festival. He targets pretty much every horse possible at the meeting, and Willie Mullins has such a high-class battalion as well that he will do something similar, and previous to that, between sort of the years 2000 up to 2010, it was very much Nicky Henderson and Paul Nicholls who did dominate before Mullins and Elliott caught on. And I see as time goes on, these are still the four very much to concentrate on, because they have the ammunition, they have the wealth of talent and quantity of talent as well to very much revolve a lot of their horses' seasons around the Cheltenham Festival. So sounds simple, it sounds something that is probably a little bit too simple really, but it really does pay to side with Mullins, Elliott, Henderson and Nicholls. And similar with Jockeys as well, you'll see that over the last however many years, the likes of Tony McCoy, Barry Geraghty, Davy Russell, Richard Johnson, these guys will very much come to the fore in the higher pressured environments of the Cheltenham Festival, where you need the experience, you need the calm heads, and they will be the ones that eventually come to the fore in the closing stages of the races, and are the ones that seem to put their horses in the best positions and get the best out of their particular mounts. So I don't see any reason why that will change again. Obviously a few of those names have retired now, but you're still going to have the likes of obviously Richard Johnson there, and perhaps one or two more emerging names like Jack Kennedy, Rachel Blackmore, and one or two others who, fitness permitting, will be the ones that are the go-to jockeys. Certainly Jack Kennedy and Rachel Blackmore are two that are very worth noting who they particularly get on in each big race. So there's my Cheltenham Festival betting guide, just a bit of a quick run through really, 5 things to certainly keep in the forefront of your mind. The course itself, the old and new course, and how it switches. Festival specialists in that form will repeat itself year on year at the Cheltenham Festival, and horses will come back each year and reproduce better efforts. Very much take note of the offers that are in play from certain bookmakers, multiple place terms, etc., and concentrate on the big trainers and the proven jockeys. Sounds simple, but sometimes in this world of betting we can try to overcomplicate, but those are the 5 things that I think are pretty important when it comes to a Cheltenham Festival betting guide. Good luck.